that are on our minds. We're fortunate today to have EVC Scott Wall and Associate Vice Chancellor Luby Levin. We were planning to have our Vice Chancellor, my goodness, how quickly they go. Steve Olson. But he has a pinched nerve and he certainly could not come. So he's in pain and he has our good thoughts, even though we don't remember his name, or at least I don't. So without stopping here, I'm just going to turn it to Scott, and then Luby will have an opportunity to say a few words, and then we'll open it up for questions.
Thank you, Nina, and good morning to you all. I'm here in my capacity, and I'll also take care of what's his name would say. First of all, I want to begin by thanking you for coming out this morning, and I also appreciate the work that you're doing on behalf of Student Affairs, on behalf of UCLA. Your work is incredibly important. I also know you're working all of you, under very difficult circumstances. These have not been easy times for any of us, especially for those of us who are taking pay cuts and furloughs. I know that it creates a lot of anxiety and a lot of hardship for you. I appreciate your patience and your willingness to forbear these kind of circumstances. It's been imposed upon us by the situation in the state as a whole, so we're trying to cope as best we can. And what I'd like to do this morning is just say a few words about where we stand in terms of the budget process, in terms of where the state is and where we are, we think, as UCLA. As you know, beginning in May and then again in July, when the budget was enacted, the state pulled back a huge number of resources out of the UC system, altogether about $800 million this year. That represented a real blow to our overall budget. That state funding is critical to everything we do. It pays our wages, it keeps the classes going, supports faculty, staff, and helps the students get through. So that loss of that money was really quite significant. What it means for us here at UCLA is that the budget cut for this year is about $131 million of our overall state funding. That $131 million represents about 17% of our state funding in the system, in this university, and we have to find ways of making it up. Of the $131 million, and that's a big figure, a big chunk of it comes from the across-the-board cuts, or the general cuts that we made last year, the 5% cuts, which affected everybody. That brings in about $33 million. I'll speak in general, rough terms rather than specifics. And then another 36 million or 37 million is produced by the salary reductions that you're all